Thanks very much for staying with us. Time now for Across Africa with me, Georgia Calvin-Smith, our weekly look at stories from across the continent. This week, a rare female Malian rapper is using her experience to inspire other women who may want to speak out in an industry in which there are very few voices like hers. Also, tens of thousands of Nigerians who fled to Cameroon to escape violence by Boko Haram insurgents are now hoping that they can return home through a voluntary repatriation scheme. And Burna Boy's star burns brighter than ever. The Nigerian rapper is ecstatic as he takes home his first Grammy. In accepting the trophy for Best Global Music Album, he's dedicated his win to Africans around the world. But first, Nigerian superstar Burna Boy is on fire. He scored his first Grammy, and in his ecstatic acceptance speech, he said that his big win is one for Africans everywhere.
Twice as tall, Burna Boy.
Second time's a charm for Burna Boy. A year after he was first nominated, the Nigerian Afrobeats star won Best Global Music Album for his record, Twice as Tall.
In Africa, we're in the house. This should be a lesson to every African out there. No matter where you are, no matter what you plan to do, you can achieve it. No matter where you're from, because you are a king. Look at me now. Grammy award-winning Burna Boy.
His album was dubbed a masterclass in the vibe and hustle that have made Burna Boy an international musical force. It features artists such as Stormzy, Youssou N'Dour, Naughty by Nature, and Chris Martin of Coldplay. In 2020, Burna Boy lost out to Angelique Kidjo in the same category. The Beninese diva went on to dedicate her award to him, hailing him a trailblazer for a new generation of African artists. Born in Nigeria's Port Harcourt, Burna Boy released his first album, Life, an acronym for Leaving an Impact for Eternity, in 2013. This was followed by Redemption in 2015 and Outside in 2018. But it was with 2019's African Giant that Burna Boy really broke onto the international scene and earned his first Grammys nomination. Back home from Lagos to Abuja, his fans were thrilled.
I really love his music so much, and he has really inspired me. I think that's a very great achievement for Burna Boy and the Nigerian musical industry at large. Yeah.
Nigerian music is going to where it will be the new thing. If you don't listen to Nigerian music, you're missing something. And our guys have proved it. Shout out to Burna Boy.
Burna Boy making us proud all over the world. I'm so excited. It's an open door for every artist in Nigeria.
Because of the pandemic, the 63rd Grammy Awards were held in Los Angeles without an audience. It turned out to be a big night for African artists. Nigerian singer Wizkid also won the Best Music Video category for his song with Beyoncé, Brown Skin Girl, from Lion King, the Gifted album.
And now we hear from a rare female Malian rapper who's using her experience to inspire other women who want to take their place on stage in an industry in which there are very few voices like hers. Our team went to meet her.
In her living room, transformed into a recording studio, Ami Yorowolo ad-libs her songs in Bambara. The hip-hop artist's melodies are inspired by Malian traditional music. At 29, Ami is the country's first professional rapper. She says she's drawn on her own experiences for her third album, AY.
It's complicated for women like us who rap, because society doesn't even want to see us doing it. We must have other priorities, other than being interested in an environment that doesn't seem fit for us. I want to show another side of rap. I can show that one can be a rapper, be respectful, and know where they come from and transmit real values through hip-hop.
After 10 years of fighting in the shadows, Ami has gradually emerged on the musical scene. She organizes a competition in Bamako each year to pass on her passion and encourage the few female rappers in Mali. This is a dress rehearsal ahead of Olivia's show. The 18-year-old can't read or write but uses rap to talk about her life and some of the difficulties she's faced.
I didn't have the opportunity to go to school. It's hard because I can't read or write, so I have to record my text on my phone and learn everything by heart.
On the big day, the young rappers rehearse backstage. Ami uses the occasion to pass on advice.
Some might think that you just have to sing, go out there on TV. But it's years of training in order to experiment with different styles, long hours at the studio, and working on the lyrics.
In front of spectators at dusk, the lyricists give it their all for one center stage in an environment where women struggle to make their voices heard.
Now, tens of thousands of Nigerians who fled to Cameroon's Malian camp to escape violence and attacks by Boko Haram extremists are now hoping that they can return home. A voluntary repatriation scheme has seen thousands already set out on the journey back, but risks remain. Our team reports.
An aerial view of the Minawawa camp in Cameroon's far north region. More than 60,000 Nigerians, mostly women and children, have been living in difficult conditions here since 2013. They fled over the border to escape attacks by Boko Haram insurgents.
These are my children, and this is my wife.
Around 5,000 refugees are now preparing to return home as things now seem to be safer. Abaga fled northeastern Nigeria 7 years ago. He's tidying up his makeshift shelter, hopefully for the last time.
Now there is peace and there is security from my country. And we get work to do from our country now. When we rehabilitate to our country, we are going to start our farming, our marketing, our everything. Since there is peace. That's why I want to go back to my house.
100 kilometers away from the Minawawa camp, dozens of Nigerian refugees have already set out on their way back to their towns and villages of origin in the hopes of returning to a normal life. Today, Cameroon's Territorial Administration Minister is visiting. He is working on the voluntary repatriation process in collaboration with Nigerian authorities and the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees.
It's a victory for both states. It's proof that African nations can manage humanitarian crises. Cameroon has once again shown its ability to take care of refugees from neighbouring countries, as we have always done since independence.
The 100 kilometers journey back begins here on steep roads in Cameroon's far north. Bande used to have 11 children. She lost 4 children to Boko Haram attacks. After more than 2 hours of travel, she leaves us at the border to continue onwards into Nigeria.
Banki is in front there. We're here in Cameroon, and right in front of us is Nigeria. We're happy to go home.
The repatriation process will take several months. The future of these thousands of Nigerian refugees in the Lake Chad Basin remains uncertain. Even though Boko Haram attacks have eased off, the group has not yet been totally defeated.
Tunisian doctors are trying to get more people to exercise in a bid to reduce the risks of cardiovascular disease. It's one of the leading causes of deaths in the country. Our team tells us more.
Early in the morning in the park in Tunis, Cedric Shelby starts his daily walk. His goal, 10,000 steps, or about 7 kilometers per day. It's a routine he has committed to since he was diagnosed with diabetes at the age of 48.
Donc je marche tous les jours parce que ça a été prescrit par mon médecin. Il m'est recommandé de perdre du poids et pour ce faire, il faut que je marche. Effectivement, ça fonctionne parce que j'ai perdu, le premier mois, j'ai perdu 6 kilos.
Few Tunisians have a regular exercise routine, less than 20% according to studies. And in big cities, walkable areas are rare. But with a rise in obesity and cardiovascular diseases, the last year has seen more doctors prescribing more exercise to patients. This cardiologist says many have the wrong idea about the importance of staying active.
Nous avons une épidémie d'obésité qui est en train d'avancer à une allure incroyable qu'on voit chez les enfants. Et donc c'est vraiment à ce stade-là qu'il va falloir commencer à les encourager à faire du sport. Et ce qui est sûr, c'est que quand la maladie arrive, il va falloir les encourager un peu plus, mais il faut vraiment commencer très tôt.
And to respond to this demand, new gyms are opening up in the capital and adapting by offering clients sports and nutritional support.
Aujourd'hui, faire du sport, c'est important, mais ce n'est pas suffisant. Donc, il y a toute la partie nutritionnelle qui est aussi importante que le sport. Donc, on essaie de vraiment conseiller nos clients sur comment manger, surtout ce qu'il ne faut pas manger, essayer de leur donner toute une hygiène de vie à adopter.
This chain of gyms will soon launch an entirely digital platform for exercise and nutrition that will be cheaper than on-site membership, in the hopes that more people will take up healthy habits.
French historian Pape Ndiaye is the new director of Paris's Museum of the History of Immigration. He wants to turn the spotlight onto colonization and the complicated conversations surrounding it.
This vast building is Paris's museum dedicated to the history of immigration. It now has a new director, the famous scholar Pape Ndiaye, who comes from a Franco-Senegalese family. In the early 1930s, this building was called the Museum of the Colonies.
C'est le plus grand monument, finalement, de propagande coloniale de France. Raison de plus pour expliquer ce qui est autour de nous, pour utiliser toutes sortes de moyens technologiques, d'ailleurs, pour mettre en valeur cette histoire, qui est une histoire non pas marginale dans la grande histoire nationale, mais qui est absolument centrale.
Pape Ndiaye disagrees with those who say that racial issues clash with what some in France call its universal values.
Ça n'est pas une position qui serait opposée aux Lumières et à l'universalisme, c'est au contraire une manière de prendre sérieusement cette question en estimant que l'universalisme n'est pas réalisé pour tout le monde, qu'il a longtemps été un universalisme plutôt pour les hommes blancs.
Pape Ndiaye rose to fame in 2008 with his essay on France's black minority. In 2019, he was one of the organisers of the exhibition at the Musée d'Orsay on black models in art history.
Well, that's it for Across Africa for this week. Thanks for joining us. Do so again if you can. Take care.